Hi everyone, it is Monday, and on Mondays, I always like to talk about this diet starts tomorrow mentality. A lot of people on Sundays are like, all right, tomorrow is a new day, it's a new week, I'm going to start over on my efforts for clean eating or healthy eating or dieting on Monday. And a lot of people say this to themselves every single week, and that can feel like this kind of crazy cycle of always telling yourself that you're going to do better, that you're going to start over. And I want to talk about a couple ways that we could remedy this and not experience this like crazy binge eating on Sunday and then this Monday motivation that typically doesn't last very long. So on Sundays, we see a lot of binge eating. It's kind of like this Last Supper eating because there's like this perceived threat of food scarcity come Monday. On Monday, I won't be able to just have the foods that I want and need because I'm starting over with my efforts at dieting or clean eating or my meal plan or whatever it is. So on Sunday, we see a lot of eating to the point of physical discomfort. We see a lot of eating like random foods or eating foods that we think will be off limits come the start of this next week. So Sunday is a big binge eating day for a lot of people. And there are two main things that I like to think about to remedy this. Number one, what if you didn't have this restrictive mentality around food? What if you were like, oh, like I'm allowed to have these foods even on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. Like these aren't just weekend foods. This isn't like cheat day foods. Then that would really remove the urgency, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that remove the urgency to eat them all on Sunday? Because then throughout the week, if you're like allowing yourself to have them, you're like, this is no big deal. I can just eat it and enjoy it and be mindful and not eat it like frantically or lose control around it. It wouldn't have power over me. So that's kind of where I would encourage you to start. But there's also a really interesting, powerful, like second point that I want to make, a new perspective that I want to offer to you, which is this idea of people will eat like if they, so on the weekends, a lot of people will have like what they consider like cheat foods, or they will make something on the weekends like that they feel is like decadent or unhealthy, or they will have these foods in the house on the weekend, but they don't want to have that food in the house during the week. And so what we see on Sundays is they will try to eat like all of those unhealthy foods for the sake of not having them, quote unquote unhealthy foods, for the sake of not having them in the house during the week. And so we'll see on Sundays a lot of times people are eating those foods that they don't want in the house, like come Monday, but they're not really eating them because they want them. They're eating them more because they don't want them in the house come Monday. So it's not really eating out of like, oh, I really want to eat that food. It's like, I really want to get rid of that food. And so they will eat that food like to the point of physical discomfort, or eat that food like past the point of fullness. And that's not fully like respectful to the body or mindful or intuitive. And so what would be some alternatives to that? Well, again, kind of what I said at the beginning, know that you don't have to get it all in on that day. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Nicolette. You don't have to get it all in on Sunday if you know that it's not going to be off limits in the future. But listen, that aside, if you are eating all of this food on Sunday that you don't even really want, just for the sake of not having it in the house in the future, that's wasteful in the same way that it's wasteful to just throw it away. If you really don't want it, you're not obligated to eat it. So I think about, there absolutely is value in considering like economic food waste. And I understand that a lot of people struggle with this idea of wasting food. But if you're eating food that you don't physically need, or the food that you don't actually even want, and you're eating to the point of physical discomfort, that's also wasteful. So what are your options? I mean, yeah, we could throw the food away. If there are other people who live with you, know that you are not obligated. You don't have to be the sole person to be responsible for eating all the leftovers. Giving the food away, I mean, composting it, right? So it doesn't always have to be waste. But I just don't want you guys to be feeling obligated to get rid of this food that's in your house just because you don't want it in the house anymore. So like one of the main solutions is making peace with food, so you don't feel like food has power over you, and you can have food in the house and it's fine, and you have permission around it, and it's non-restrictive. But also, like if you have these foods that you actually don't even want and you're just eating them just to get rid of them, that's not a great move. It's not a great move. So those are my thoughts today on like food waste, and on permission around food, around this diet starts tomorrow mentality. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. I still have one coaching spot left this month, so if you want it, you can apply for a call at my website, mariascomenti.com. All right, you guys, have a great week. Love you. Bye.